Hey everyone, welcome into the ZRL finals. Coming at you today from the lovely east coast of Tasmania. We're on the Braek-fast crits and grits route, so you can see it there. We have a points race, and we are tuned into Gatesy's stream because with my makeshift setup, which I'll put up on the screen now, really was concerned that the internet wasn't good enough to be doing anything other than racing. So we're going to follow Gatesy, and I'm going to talk through how it played out in the grand final for 2025. So we're up into the first segment on the south sker, I think it is, and lots of feathers being popped here. A few of our guys, including myself, don't actually use the feather here. I decided that it was probably better for me to try and match everyone on this and take the feather into the Clyde Kickr. So you can see me up kicking past towards the front. Gates is also going well without using the feather. Some nice FAL points. And I come away with the FTS there without using the feather. So a pretty solid opening. Lots of anvils being used, so had to be attentive as we drop down the sker into Glasgow. We've got a good team in today, the same team pretty much that we've had in the finals, in really good form. And we are hoping that as the race splits up, when we start getting to the breakaway Bray, that we can really capitalise on some FAL points. Our Marco being super aggressive right from the start today. Actually, no, Marco's in the bunch. That was one of the other guys, probably Kieran, as we start to head towards the Glasgow Kickr. Now, just having a feather is pretty much going to assure that Gatesy and I are able to get some really good FTS points on this. Now, just for out of interest, I think that's me there with the Scotty Squirrel and the Halo bike and the Lightning sock. So if you see them flash, that's me. As we head into the Kickr, it strings out. We're going for the classic FTS attempt. I come past Gatesy there with the feather and the momentum and really nail that one. Gatesy starts it a bit late, but is able to come through perfectly for some good FALs. We go 1, 2, and 4 in the FALs. 1 and 2 in the FTS. So going well, but it is going to be tough today because we are a rider down, and BL13 have brought 6 really solid riders to the race today, and they're looking really good early with their ability to kind of get FTS points and FAL points in this field. But we've got some aggressive guys that are not going to make the race easy for them. And as we head into the champion sprint, we're kind of towards the back. There's me, there's Gatesy, and we unleash the AERO power-ups. There goes the lightning socks. We're coming through the field beautifully. Another solid outcome there. I take down another jersey, and Gatesy, I think he's third on the FTS there. With solid FALs all round. And the fact Marco held on for that FAL, that's just a bonus. Obviously, he's kind of using his strengths and helping the team out in that way, which is going to help us in the second half of the race. Now, things really start to split as we come up this drag. I think there's a group of about 5 with 3 of us, 2 of us, sorry, at the moment. So the numbers are okay. But it is brought back with some strong work from a few teams in this section here, sensing the kind of danger that this could pose. So it does come back, but then it goes again, and we see a group of probably 6 head off the front, and probably a second group of 10 will start to form. But here's where it all comes back together. I've used my draft power up. I don't know if Gatesy has or not. And just about here, one of our team kind of keeps on the pressure. I think it's Alex, which is a perfect move over the top as it came together. Gatesy does use his draft, so he will take a feather into Bray as well. It does split here, and I decide that being like kind of one of our FTS riders, it's best to be in the main part of this pack and let some of our diesels go at it and go off the front. So you can see me there just deciding that move's not for me, just settling back into the pack, not knowing if I'll ever see them again, to be honest. Um, this part's are not probably the only part of the whole race where you can get a chance to recover properly. Um, but a few guys decided to launch fairly solid into the ramp here. A few little sprints, and we pretty much managed to make contact with all of the group except for Alex and Marco, who have actually seemed to have rode away and got themselves to the front in a really great position to start a really big FAL hunt if they can hang on through these sprints. So Gatesy and I will head towards the back of the pack, ready for FTS. The FTS is going to go down lap one on Bray for sure, because once burritos are in play and the fatigue's in the legs, there's no way we're going to be able to sprint that quick. So Gatesy in a perfect spot, drafting beautifully off the BL13 riders. I come around as well, and we completely nail that 1, 2, 3, 4 on the FALs, 1 and 3 on the FTS. So really consistent performance there. As we head into the laps, now with burritos, it gets interesting. So our plan was to either be kind to each other with burritos, but if we didn't, we felt like we had the strength, that we were stronger and they were going to help us anyway. Any burrito here means that Marco and Alex get another chance to get away a bit more as well. Um, and then also, just for me, who I felt pretty strong in this sense, using a burrito, it's not really going to hurt me because if I'm at the front, no one can draft off me anyway. So you can see just up ahead, I use mine and I'm away. Andy Nichols is going to come through there, but Kieran and Gatesy rack up really great FAL, so 5 in the top 6. Absolutely spot on. And this is a bit of a decisive moment in the race. Marco's got a bit of a gap on Alex by this stage, but I've got 2 seconds on the pack, and I decide this is my moment to try and see if I can make it across, to make it a 1, 2, 3 for the guys. You can see on the right there the time gaps. So I'm currently 4 seconds up on the pack, and Alex is kind of in between with Marco up the road. So if I can get to Alex and we can work together, hopefully once the pack start to fade out, and they give us that gap, hopefully we can stay away and they don't have the legs to chase us down in this sprint. So if I could get across this sprint ahead, I was feeling pretty confident that we could make it work. As Gatesy does another really good FAL effort there. So does Kieran. So again, 4 in the top 6. The boys are 5 in the top 6. Sorry, the boys are nailing it. Couldn't be going any better for us as the race unfolds, and you can see the pack keeps thinning out. The legs are tired, and I know my race personally. I was pretty ruined at this point in the race. I saw the gap to Marco at about 5, 6 seconds, and I thought I might be able to get up to Marco and work together, but I just could not do it. Just couldn't do it. Those early sprints had really taken a toll on the legs. Um, Again, Gatesy getting up to the front. He's got a gap on the group. They've let him go. They've given him a few seconds, so he's going to have another great FAL haul here. Really, just the team has gelled in the final just beautifully. He uses his burrito in case anyone gets near him to hold off their attack with no draft, and gets it done again as we start to head into the final section of the race, where we head back up into the Skur. And obviously, the composition of the main pack, there's quite a few BL13 guys, I think 5 of them. There's a couple of CC riders, and our other 2 boys are able to just sit in on whatever occurs here. At this stage, up the front, Alex and I were together. And the gap was 12 seconds, which I thought was a bit dangerous, but it just required a little bit of time like this, where the pack are doing 3 watts a kilo with no momentum going into the hill, couple of burritos, and Alex and I working together start to extend that out pretty quickly to over 20 seconds. Once it was over 20, started to feel a little bit safer, and just kind of that's where you're a bit out of sight, out of mind. It's going to take a lot of power to close it back in. So in a really good spot there. You can see on the right how it's shaping up into the last 2.5K. So Gatesy uses his power up at a point where Kieran's ahead of him. Really smart. Um, the boys just gelled fantastically in the last 3 races, and we just had such a strong team, and it was a really good performance. Really wasn't sure how the points would play out because obviously 6 racing 5. it's a bit out of our favour, but just the way that Marco, Alex, Gatesy, Kieran, and I had collected points at everything across the way, the numbers turn out pretty nicely in our favour, actually. As we'll take you into the last skir. Marco rides away, holds his gap about 15 seconds, and takes out the line honours. I managed to just sneak away from Alex a little bit on the final skir, so I take second across the line with Alex coming in for third, and I'll let you watch the great battle for fourth unfold. So Kieran's just up in on the BL13 rider's wheel, and it's going to be a good finish. There are a lot of guys here that are really good finishers, and it's been a pretty hectic race. I think Gatesy 405 normalized for the race, which is massive for half an hour. My normalized power was 380, which that's about the same as it was at Nationals for the same length race. So it was a hard race, especially on an unfamiliar setup. Um, as we come into the finish, and Gatesy just gets pipped there for sixth. But sixth is a really good result. There's the Zwift power results. What a ride by Marco. Um, yeah, 6 watts average, massive. And you can see, apart from that, a lot of high normalized. The results from WTRL, look at that points haul, 216 for me, really good. I think out of 232 would be the max score in that field. So we got the win, 793 to 609. So premiers for ZRL. It's been a great battle with BL13 for the whole season. Glad that a couple of legit teams were duking it out, going really hard at it all year, and managed to have a good race in the final. So thanks for watching. Hopefully enjoy a couple of sunny days on the East Coast, and catch you next time. Cheers.